Committed to my goals, yeah. Gotta do my own thing. Keep up the hustling. I won't be defined by your dreams. Committed to my goals, yeah. Gotta do my own thing.
Hi, welcome to Hustleburg. Thank you for sharing your time with us as we chat with entrepreneurs and small business owners here in Saint Petersburg, Florida. We talk about how they got started, how they built their business, and how they serve our community. I'm Brett Bittner, and I'm the host of Hustleburg. And I started Beyond Your Side Hustle because I found that most entrepreneurs lack the time and expertise to build themselves a digital marketing strategy that gets results. At Beyond Your Side Hustle, we help you craft an awesome strategy to stand out from the competition and build a community that supports your business today and in the future. We help budding entrepreneurs go beyond their side hustle into the business they're dreaming of. As the founder of a small business here in St. Pete myself, I love meeting and talking with fellow business owners about what they do. Now, you may have noticed a few changes with the podcast lately, and one of the biggest is that we're now doing video. So if you're only listening to this episode, whether it's on your favorite podcast player, radiostpete.com, or Sunshine 96.7 FM, please note that this episode and all future episodes are available on YouTube for your viewing pleasure. Visit beyondyoursidehustle.com/YouTube to subscribe or to watch Hustleburg. And if you find anything of value in this episode, I encourage you to subscribe to the podcast. If you would, also please rate and review the episode as well. It sends us the right signals about knowing how the conversations added value for you. If you are interested in being a guest in an upcoming episode, and you own a business here in St. Pete or somewhere else nearby on this side of the bay, please let us know by visiting beyondyoursidehustle.com/podcastguest. In this episode, I have the good fortune of speaking with Andrea McWilliams from Brea's Coffee, a mobile coffee bar here in St. Pete. So, Bruce, why are you bringing your mobile coffee bar, Brea's Coffee, to the people of St. Pete?
Well, first of all, we live here in St. Pete. We've been here now for 20 plus years. We moved to the St. Pete area back in '97.
Okay.
I actually came down as a cable contractor, a subcontractor with the GT Americas project. Fell in love with the place. My wife came down to visit me once, came down to visit the second time. The third time, she said, baby, we can live down here.
I love it.
So we've been here that long, and once we started the coffee business, of course, being residents of St. Pete, we wanted to, of course, stay right here in St. Pete. Now,
so
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so why is it the coffee bar? Why is that? You're no longer doing the cable thing. Why is that what you do?
Well, I had a few transitions. I'm the dreamer, the entrepreneur mindset guy in the family. I'm the guy to go get her. I was the one who landed the contract to come down here. My wife was working for the city of Baltimore, and coffee, that was one of the things I ventured out on, believe it or not. This whole business started as an MLM.
Okay.
And as a result of, we saw a different side of it, mobile side of it, to actually get it to the people as opposed to selling boxed or packaged coffee, teas, and hot chocolate. And that's how it all started.
All right. So that's how you got started serving tea, coffee, and other beverages in a mobile fashion. What type of background did you have with regard to coffee and tea when you started the whole thing?
It was strictly a mindset. A mindset. One thing I am, I'm more of a lion than a cat. I have this mind where there's really not a whole lot I can't do. That's just my belief. I believe that there's always greater ahead of us. When I was introduced to that particular MLM, we did everything we were supposed to do. We got the people. Our first meeting, we signed up these people, but they figured it was a kind of a get rich quick type thing, and they didn't really understand the work that was involved in. So one of the gentlemen who I was involved in the same thing, he kind of took me under his wing. He educator over in Hillsborough County, and at the time he was doing teacher appreciations, different things at the school, setting up in the mornings at the school that he was involved in. And he just brought me along to see what was going on, how it actually operated. So he encouraged me to take pictures. Bruce, take a couple pictures, take some pictures of this, take some pictures of that, I did that, brought them back home to my wife, and she just upgraded the brother. She was like, look, we can do better than that. You don't need that. We can get some of those, couple of those. And next thing you know, we're purchasing tents and tables and tablecloths and all kinds of things. And we just started hitting every opportunity we could here in the Burg.
Now, you talked about a mindset. Is there anything that you're reading, watching, or listening to that helps reinforce that for you, or helps lead you or guide you as you build Bria's Coffee?
Yeah, there's a couple of things actually. I have belong to a group on Facebook. It's called Blueprint Leadership Group.
Okay.
And it's an awesome group, man. It's all about the mindset of the leader, how to cultivate. Well, let me back up a little bit. I am a believer. I'm a Christian,
Okay.
and I just believe that it's the biblical principles that make each and every one successful, whether they know it or not. I truly believe that, my household believes that, everything that's done is done for a purpose. So this particular group I belong to, I mean, some awesome guys, facilitators, some people I've known for the past 10, 15, 20 years. And that's part of what pushes us, that keeps us grounded. It's basically leadership training.
Okay.
One of the books the book that we've been working out of, my pastor, he's passed now. He's passed a couple of years back. He wrote a book called Success Habits.
Okay.
And it's just awesome, Success habits. You have to be habitual with what it is that you do, and you have to be purposeful with what you do. And those are the type of things that we follow, basically biblical principles, which is a win-win situation all the way around.
Living with intent. I love it.
Yes, sir.
So, aside from that, is there anything that's guiding you on this entrepreneurial journey, or is it just that group that you're able to bounce ideas off of and glean some of those fantastic leadership opportunities from?
Well, if I'm hearing you correctly on the guide, I guess you're asking me what my why is, maybe?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, it's interesting. For so long, we people, and I'm gonna say people in general, we have this misinterpretation of money. We
Okay.
have this sense of not doing the right thing by it or doing the wrong things for it. One of the things that come to mind is deaths. People aren't usually prepared for death. They don't take the proper. They don't do what's proper when it comes to death. You see, GoFundMe here, GoFundMe there, GoFundMe there. Now, along with that, of course, you have an insurances. If you do, I'm supposed to anyway. But that's usually a check. You know what I mean? And your
Right.
kids will run through a check kind of quick. You get a couple $100,000, whatever the case may be. If you don't have the right mindset when money is gone, then what else is that? Well, one of the biblical principles that we follow is a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, his children's children. Well, inheritance can not only just be money, but it can be a business, it could be a mindset, it could be a way of doing things. And we figure, and just instead of leaving a check, because we do what we're supposed to do, my wife and I, with the whole will and that kind of stuff, and insurances. But we need to leave them something that's pliable, something that they can work with if they choose to, and they can put their oomph on it. You know what I mean? We're raising two of our grandkids, man. So their ages 13 and 14 right now. We got them right out the hospital, and it's really for them. So that's who I'm speaking of when I say that inheritance.
So you guys are working toward leaving them something behind when it is time for you to move on.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Something more than a check, something more than property. So, you know what I mean? Something that they can work if they choose to. It's all gonna be their choice now, but we've been raising them right.
Okay, so I imagine that you already have them at 13 and 14 learning about the business itself, so that it wouldn't be anything for them to step in tomorrow.
Brett, let me tell you, man, they are fantastic for the past 5 years. And, when we talk about that age group, man, they're out there, they know how to greet people, they talk to people, they hold conversations with people. I mean, all kinds of people, They, of course, they collecting the monies, they help with the drinks, they help with the setup, the breakdown, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, they're getting more and more acclimated to a lot of things. Of course, you can't throw everything on it, but they're...
Oh, sure, man, not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
So what is the most important lesson that you guys have learned as you've been operating Bria's Coffee? Something, and when I say lesson, I look at everything that we encounter in life is an opportunity. And when we have something that many people would classify as a failure or something that isn't going according to plan, I look at that not necessarily as a failure, but more of a lesson. So what are some of the biggest lessons that you've had as you've been building Bria's Coffee?
Wow. Uh, this lesson just came within the past 7 to 9 months, I guess, with
Okay, yeah.
this COVID. I mean, you just never know what can happen. I guess that's the biggest lesson. Well, I don't want to say lesson. I guess the biggest lesson would be prepared as much as possible.
Okay,
Um, One thing that happened with Brea's Coffee, we got shut down back in March. We do a lot of work with the schools, a lot of fundraising with schools, and we travel the
right,
state. So right around March, we were finishing up our school year. We followed the FFC circuit with the color guards,
okay,
and
yeah,
awesome group, and it just shut down as well as some of our other, because everything that we do is predicated on groups of people, of course, on the
right,
mobile side. Yeah, so it just shut down. So you just never know. But if you're ready, if you're ready, and when I say ready, I'm talking about mentally.
mm-hmm,
You can't be broke. If you quit, then you're defeated.
right.
So we never quit. We just kept on going slowly. Once everything started opening up slowly, we jumped back out there a little bit at a time. So being ready, being flexible, adaptable, and adjustable, make yourself more relevant to the people.
I gotcha. So what are some of the most inspiring things that you've worked on as a part of the community here in St. Pete?
Well, I have to go back to the fundraising piece. Part of what
Okay,
we do, we not only do the weddings and we travel to the circuits,
mm-hmm,
Martin Luther King parade, just about every big event that you can think of here locally, we do. But our biggest passion is schools. Teachers don't get paid a lot. Our school
sure,
systems here, especially in this area, Pinellas County, St. Pete, school systems aren't getting a lot of income. And I didn't realize till we got into this field that a lot of your booster clubs and your special, clubs in your schools, even your football team, they have to raise their own money. You know, well,
oh
if you
yeah,
have to raise your own money, and we're learning now with this COVID thing how important school is.
right,
Yeah, they eat off the state and everything but what about the camaraderie? What about the gathering of the children? What about just having outlets to be able to do something? You know what I mean? And
mm-hmm,
that's I think that's what's most inspiring is we're able to help at least partly with finances for a couple of different groups. Now you can't help everybody, but you can help
right,
somebody.
sure.
Yeah.
Now, how is it that you're going about building the brand around Bria's Coffee here to serve the St. Pete market?
Well, we're actually in a rebranding process. Glad you
Okay,
asked that. One part of the mindset of coming into this um, pandemic, of course, it took everybody by shock. But while we were here, we said we're not going to come out the same.
okay,
We're going to be different. We're not only going to be different with a look and a feel, but we're just going to be different. We're having a trailer built as we speak, a mobile trailer. We've been popping
all right,
tents up. We have a trailer that should be ready here in the next couple of weeks. But we're working with a friend of ours, a gentleman named Michael Bigos. He owns Branding, Focus Branding and Design Solutions, name of it. And he's
okay.
been helping us tremendously with getting out. This is going to be going in a museum here soon. We already
So you're
have
about
our
to
new.
retire that one and move on to your new branding, new logo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, what are you doing to make sure that you have a reputation that makes you the first choice when it comes to being a vendor at some of these events?
You know, um, what do you call it? Not the logo, but the thing that you say. Uh,
Your
wow.
tagline, your elevator speech?
Tagline.
Yeah.
The tagline is tasty experience, right?
Okay.
Now we just added another one with this new branding that we have going. It's love people, love coffee.
Okay.
Because people, you can get it. Now let's be real. You can find a good cup of coffee anywhere, just about
Yep.
anywhere. Let's do it
Just
like that.
about.
But there's an experience with us. When you come in contact with us, you spend 5, 10, 15 minutes with us, you're going to leave a little different.
Okay.
And you're going to leave better. When I say different, you're going to leave with a smile on your face, not just from the drink, because we get a lot of those reactions. They take a sip of that
Sure.
drink and it's like they didn't expect it to taste like that. I was like, well, why didn't you expect that? Well, I just didn't know, but we want you to experience a sense of love, man, because we love people. We love people.
That's awesome. So today you guys are operating Bria's Coffee about here, and I imagine that you have plans to bring it here. What would you say is the kind of the end point, the ultimate goal for where you want to take it?
Well, we have real life expectations, and I guess some people might call them unrealistic expectations, but we
Okay.
call it vision. We call it vision. What could possibly be? You always want to expect greater. Um, and we've kind of dabbled in that a little bit. We started out mobile. We had
Okay.
an opportunity to go into a facility, and we were
Hmm.
actually at Skyway Marina Mall for a little while. We had
Okay.
about 3,000 square feet of space. Man, it was more of a meeting place than anything. The chamber would come down there and meet. Senator Roussine would have his coffee chats. It was just a nice place. But anybody familiar with St. Pete is familiar with that particular mall and the ownership and this and that. So it didn't really work out. When we left from there, we went to 49th Street North and 9th Avenue to that big 3-story bank up there. And we were there
Okay.
for a
Yeah.
while. Yeah. But the owner, unknown to anybody else who was in there, didn't zone it for retail because of what it used to
Ooh.
be. Yeah.
Okay.
So we left out of there. And when we left out of there, my wife and I said, we'll never go into another building again unless it's ours. So we
Okay.
went back 100% mobile after that. Even though we were still doing our mobile while we were there, we went back 100% mobile. And that's what the end game would be, to have our own building that can be identified in a group of buildings, coffee shops. You'll see Brea's Coffee right there.
So the idea then is a brick and mortar facility that you guys own outright,
Yeah.
or that you're working toward ownership on,
Right,
not necessarily leasing space.
right.
Okay.
Now, caveat with that is, again, is the whole expectation piece is, we don't know what could happen in the future because a lot of these buildings, they starting to come available now only because of COVID.
Oh, sure.
And who knows what the what the future holds, but that's what we would like to.
Now, when you take a look at how you're spending your time working Bria's Coffee, and I use that phrase very specifically, how much of the time that you're working are you working in the business, operating the day to day, and how much of it are you working on the business to get it to the point where you want to be with your vision?
Well, not a day goes by without us thinking about what we're going to do with the business.
Okay.
I mean, it's a daily thing when it's something that you're trying to build, the next steps, what could possibly be, just trying to think it all out. As of now, even though things have opened up a little bit more, we still just standing at 2 solid monthly events that we do.
Okay.
One of them that we do, I'm still tied with the Skyway Marina. I'm actually on the board. Well, not as of now. I just resigned from the board after 2 years down the Skyway Marina
Okay.
District. But right across from the marina itself, right in the parking lot of Dollar Tree, I'm there every Saturday morning. Not event
Okay.
style. It's just a setup because
Just a
I
pop up, sure.
have ability to do that. But Pop Goes the Waffle actually joins us once a month. Matter
Right.
of fact, this Sunday will be the first for this month, and no, it will be in Pinellas Park this Sunday. The
Hmm.
24th will be down here in the Skyway. So those are the two
Okay.
events that we solidify, but events. But
Sure.
pop-ups every Saturday morning from 7 to 12. I'm there.
All right. So you mentioned that you guys moved to St. Pete in '97, right?
Yes, sir.
Where did you guys move from?
Baltimore. I met my wife in Baltimore.
Okay.
She's from Baltimore, born and raised. I'm from Philly, born and
Okay.
raised. And I got to Baltimore on a contract.
All right.
So I
So
got
that's
to
what
go
gets you
there.
moving around. I see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ready to go. Spent most of my life in Philly. Got to Baltimore. Met my wife. Met her in '92. Married in '95. Moved here in '97.
I like the progression. You've gradually moved southward.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
enjoying the weather?
Oh man, and beat this with a stick.
Now, when y'all aren't working, what are some of your favorite things to do in and around St. Pete?
Well, right now I stay close to home.
Okay. Yeah, of course. When we're not facing a lot of the things going on with COVID, what are some of the things you guys like to be doing?
One of our favorite places of the city, believe it or not, is down around the Albert Whitter Park. that down there. The Hangar is a place to eat down there. We enjoy that
Okay.
place. We love the park. Like I said, we raised our grands for the past 13, 14 years from babies, man, with the little playground over there. They know every man. Look, that was our favorite. Plus, you can fish off of there a little bit. That's really our favorite place. But the usual, the movies. There's plenty of places to eat here. The beaches, of course.
Oh yeah,
I
they're
like to
gorgeous.
fish. Yeah, I like to fish. So it's so we'll do a family thing just off of Central over there, off of a Central and Park down in that little area. Just a couple of. I have a little spots I can't say publicly because I don't want anybody to.
I don't. Hey, I'm not going to ask you where. You never ask a fisherman where he likes to go, because you never know when somebody's going to show up in your spot.
Exactly. So those are a few things.
So you mentioned some of the things that you have upcoming with Pop Goes the Waffle. Is there anything big that you have coming up in 2021 that you'd like to make sure that people are aware of? And let's go ahead and remind people about the standing pop-ups that you have going on every Saturday. And what's the other? What's the other?
Saturday now. The two that are I call them event styles with Pop Goes the Waffle. We partnered with them shortly after the pandemic kind of set in.
Got it.
And the first time we got together, man, we both sold out. And it was like, oh, we got to continue this. So it's been an ongoing thing. Yeah. But so far as 2021, what we would really like to do, because we do a lot of work with SPC Clearwater. I mean, we're there 6-7 times out of the week, year, if not more. Another one of our family members is the what's the dog place name? Southeastern Guide Dogs.
Okay.
Right across the bridge over there. Awesome group of people, man. Do wonders with those babies. They got their own puppy thing down there, man. And it's just great. But we're there. We were there at least once a week. 4 times a month we were there. But so far as 2021, we have this trailer being built. I would like maybe to get with one of the locals here that will allow me to just set up on their property. Of course, everything has to be okay with the city. We'll have all that taken care of. But just to have a place to set up for now, and maybe just go out for the year and just, go all to 2021 and just be a beacon, so to speak.
All right.
Nothing big, nothing grandiose, just to get out there and just be amongst the people.
I gotcha. So where can people find out more about Bria's Coffee? If they're looking to have something, if they're looking to have a mobile coffee bar at their next event, obviously it's probably not going to happen in the short term, but looking a little further out, how can they find out more about you? Where can they find you on social media so they can keep up with the pop-ups and the events that you're doing?
Wow. Website, that's going to be going through some changes here soon with
the
new feel and everything, but it's breasmobilecafe.com.
All right.
And that's breasmobilecafe.com. Check us out on there. We have all kinds of pictures. Facebook as well. Facebook and Instagram. Those are our two biggest social media platforms. And we did have a YouTube channel, but we don't really work with that anymore. It just seems like IG is where the young folks are.
I gotcha.
Our audience is so broad, man. I mean, because everybody likes coffee. We do the frappes, man. We Oreo, caramel, and mocha are our staples on the frappe, and the kids are just crazy about it, man. When I say that, it's almost like, oh man, it's like a termite in wood, It's something else, But yeah, that's where they can find us.
All right, the good news is if you didn't have a chance to write that down or you were driving or walking the dog, I will make sure that we have those linked in the show notes. Bruce, is there anything that you want to share with the Hustleburg audience before we call it the end?
Well, audience, I tell you, it was a pleasure to be before you. I hope you learned a little bit more about Brea's Coffee. We are here for you. You call on us at any given time, and we will have you scheduled for your event, your next event, your future event, whatever it is that you're having. We come with excellence and opportunity because we have an array of flavors, an array of drinks. We don't have a staple for anybody. You can pick whatever it is that you like off our menu, cater it to how you want it, fit it to your people, man. We are here for you. We love people.
Awesome. Bruce, thank you so much for spending the time today talking with me and talking to the folks that are part of the community for Hustleburg.
Brett, thanks for having us, man. I surely appreciate it.
Hey, you did it. You've just listened to Hustleburg. If we provided you with something of value with this podcast, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast player, especially you Apple Podcast listeners. This is something that only takes a few seconds, and it will help us shine the spotlight on all the great businesses that St. Pete has to offer and grow the Hustleburg community. Speaking of great businesses here in St. Pete, if you're a small business owner and you'd like to share the story of your business with the Hustleburg community, please let us know by visiting beyondyoursidehustle.com/podcastguest. Did you know that at Beyond Your Side Hustle, we're helping small business owners reach ideal engagement on any social media platform with a free 3-week training by email? It's available at beyondyoursidehustle.com/3weeks. Start right now to learn how you can fix your feed to better serve you, start engaging on social the right way, and create a community around you and your business. The opening music in this episode is Defining Your Dreams by my friend Rhymer Educator. I encourage you to check him out on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to great music. Thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to continuing to share with you how we do business in the Burg.